Real English Lounge.
The art of everyday English.
I want to ask you something embarrassing.
My favorite.
How many times have you started a habit, felt great about it for about 2 weeks, and then just stopped?
This year or ever?
Ever.
Many times. The list is long.
What's on the list?
Running, journaling, reading before bed, drinking more water, not checking my phone first thing in the morning, which we've already discussed.
All started with great enthusiasm.
All started with such conviction. This time, it's gonna stick.
And then?
And then one day I didn't do it. And then 2 days. And somehow 2 days became not doing it at all.
The 2-day gap is the killer.
The 2-day gap is where habits go to die. Welcome to Real English Lounge. I'm Claire.
I'm Ethan. Today, why habits don't stick, what's actually going on, and what actually works. And none of it is about being a more disciplined person.
Subscribe on YouTube if this podcast is helping your English.
Comment challenge. Tell us one habit you've started and stopped more than twice. One sentence in English in the comments.
Level check. B1 to B2. Practical English for talking about habits, routines, and the things we keep meaning to do.
Word tour words today. Discipline, habit, consistent, trigger, streak, and accountability. 6 words for building and talking about the things you actually want to do. Let's start with motivation, because I think most people treat motivation as the engine.
What do you mean?
You want to start a habit. You wait until you feel motivated. You feel motivated, you start. Things go well. Then the motivation fades, and the habit fades with it.
The classic cycle.
And the problem is, we keep treating motivation as something we need to find, like it's fuel. And when the tank runs out, we wait for a refill.
But motivation is not reliable fuel.
It's the worst possible fuel. It peaks right at the start, when you need it least, and disappears exactly when the habit starts to feel like effort.
Which is every single time.
Every single time. The first Monday is easy. The third Monday is where it gets tested.
So if motivation is not the answer, what is?
Systems, environment, making the habit require as little decision as possible.
Because the decision is where it falls apart.
Every morning where you have to decide, am I going to do this today, is a morning where the answer might be no.
Whereas if the habit is already part of the structure of your day, if it happens before you have a chance to decide,
You just do it.
and eventually you don't even notice you're doing it. Can I tell you about the one habit I actually kept?
Please.
It was embarrassingly small. I wanted to stretch for 10 minutes in the morning.
And?
I put the mat on the floor the night before, right next to my bed. So when I woke up, it was there, and getting up meant stepping on it.
Literally stepping on it.
The friction of not doing it was greater than the friction of doing it, which, it turns out, is the whole secret.
You made the habit easier than the alternative.
And it was so small that on bad days, I would do 2 minutes, not 10, just to not break the streak.
The 2-minute rule.
Just do the minimum version, because a 2-minute session maintains the identity of someone who stretches, and a skip session starts building the identity of someone who doesn't.
That's actually a really important point, the identity piece.
It's the whole thing.
Say more about the identity piece.
Most people try to build habits by focusing on the outcome. I want to lose weight. I want to read more. I want to be a runner.
Which is the goal?
But the goal is far away. And on a Tuesday morning when you don't want to get up, the goal doesn't feel real. What feels real is how you see yourself.
Oh, so the question isn't, do I want to be fit?
The question is, am I someone who exercises? Because if the answer is yes, then exercising is just what people like me do.
That changes the whole framing.
The goal motivates you once. The identity motivates you every day.
And how do you build the identity?
By showing up, small, consistently. Each time you do the thing, even the tiny version, you cast a vote for the kind of person you are.
So the 10-minute stretch isn't about flexibility.
The stretch is a vote for being someone who takes care of her body.
That is significantly more motivating than 10 minutes of flexibility.
Slightly more inspiring, yes.
Let me tell you about my current experiment.
What is it?
I've been trying to write for 30 minutes every morning. Not good writing, just writing.
How's it going?
Mixed. The days when I do it, I feel genuinely better, more clear-headed, like I've processed something.
And the days you don't?
I tell myself I'll do it later, and later becomes evening, and evening becomes not at all.
The later trap.
The later trap. And I've noticed, the days I do it are the days I do it first, before I open anything, before I check anything, before I have a reason to feel that something else needs doing.
The habit needs to happen before the day has a chance to fill up.
Exactly. The day is very good at filling up.
The day is relentless.
The day will find reasons.
So the solution is decide the night before, not the morning of. Morning you has too many options. Evening you can make one clear decision.
Plan for your tired future self instead of your enthusiastic current self.
Design the system for the version of you that doesn't feel like it.
And what about accountability? Because I've seen people swear by it, telling someone what you're doing, checking in.
It works for some people, and for others, it creates performance rather than change.
What do you mean?
If you're doing the habit because someone is watching, what happens when they stop watching? Or when you go through a hard week and you can't bear to tell anyone you stopped?
Then the shame of failing the accountability becomes a reason to hide rather than a reason to restart.
Right. The best accountability is to yourself. Tracking quietly, not breaking the streak, not for anyone else, just because you said you would.
The streak becomes the reason.
The streak becomes its own motivation, which is better than borrowed motivation from someone else.
Because it doesn't run out when they stop watching.
It belongs to you.
Time for the word tour. 6 words from today.
Definition, natural example, mini dialogue, upgrade phrase. Word 1, discipline. D-I-S-C-I-P-L-I-N-E. Noun.
Discipline is the ability to do something consistently, even when you don't feel like it. Not because you're forcing yourself through pain, but because you've built a system that makes doing the thing the path of least resistance.
Example, she wasn't naturally disciplined. She was just good at designing her environment. The habit was easy because she'd removed every reason not to do it. That's what discipline looked like in practice.
Mini dialogue. How are you so consistent with it?
It's not discipline exactly. I just set things up so that not doing it would require more effort than doing it.
That's clever.
That's the only kind of discipline that works for me.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of I try to be disciplined, try I've been working on building systems rather than relying on willpower. Discipline that comes from design is more reliable than discipline that comes from effort.
Word 2, habit. H-A-B-I-T. Noun.
A habit is a behavior that's become automatic, something you do without consciously deciding to. The goal of any new habit is to make it so routine that you stop deciding and just do.
Example, he'd been doing it for so long, it had stopped feeling like a discipline. It was just a habit, as automatic as making coffee. He didn't decide to do it, he just did.
Mini dialogue. Do you find it hard to keep up with it?
Less than I used to. It's become a habit at this point. I notice when I haven't done it more than I notice when I have.
That's when you know it's worked.
When not doing it feels like the disruption.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of I've been doing it regularly, try it's become a genuine habit now. I don't have to remind myself or motivate myself. It just happens, and I notice its absence more than its presence.
Word 3, consistent. C-O-N-S-I-S-T-E-N-T. Adjective.
Consistent means doing something reliably over time. Not perfectly, but regularly enough that it compounds. A habit done consistently for a year produces far more than the same habit done intensely for 2 weeks.
Example, she wasn't the most motivated person in the gym. She wasn't the hardest worker in any given session, but she showed up consistently, 3 times a week, no exceptions. And after a year, the compound effect was significant.
Mini dialogue. How often do you do it?
5 days a week. I'm not always enthusiastic, but I'm consistent.
How do you manage on the days you don't feel like it?
I just do a shorter version. The point isn't the intensity. The point is not breaking the consistency.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of I try to do it most days, try I focus on being consistent rather than perfect. Some days the session is full, some days it's 5 minutes. What matters is not breaking the pattern.
Word 4, trigger. T-R-I-G-G-E-R. Noun.
A trigger is the event or condition that sets a habit in motion, the thing that comes before the behavior. If you can attach a new habit to a reliable trigger, you stop relying on motivation to start. The trigger does the starting for you.
Example, her trigger was finishing her morning coffee. The moment the cup was empty, she moved to her desk and opened the document. Coffee ending was the signal. The writing followed automatically.
Mini dialogue. How do you remember to do it every day?
I attached it to something I already do. After I brush my teeth, I do 10 minutes of it. The brushing is the trigger.
So you're not relying on remembering. The habit just follows something that always happens.
Exactly, no reminder needed. The trigger is built into the day.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of I try to remember to do it, try I've given it a trigger, something that already happens every day that automatically leads into it. I stopped relying on memory or motivation and let the trigger do the work.
Word 5, streak. S-T-R-E-A-K. Noun.
A streak is an unbroken sequence practice, a run of consecutive days or sessions where you've done the habit. Streaks create their own motivation. Once you have one, you don't want to break it. The streak becomes a reason to show up even when nothing else does.
Example, he'd been going for 43 days. He wasn't always enthusiastic, but the streak had become real. It had weight. Breaking it felt like losing something, not just skipping a day.
Mini dialogue. What keeps you going when you don't feel like it?
Honestly, the streak. I've got 28 days now. I don't want to be the person who broke it on day 29.
The streak is doing the motivating.
The streak is a much more reliable motivator than enthusiasm.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of I've been doing it for a while, try I'm on a 32-day streak right now, which sounds like a game, but it actually works. I've turned up on days I'd had no interest in turning up because I didn't want to break it.
Last word, accountability. Accountability. Noun.
Accountability is the fact of being responsible for your actions, and in the context of habits, the practice of having someone else who knows what you're trying to do and checks whether you're doing it. Works well for some people, can backfire for others.
Example, she'd tried accountability partners before, always with the best intentions. But she'd found that the moment she fell behind, she started avoiding the partner too. The accountability had become something to manage, rather than something that helped.
Mini dialogue. Have you tried using an accountability partner?
Once. It worked while I was doing it. When I stopped telling them, and then I stopped altogether. I think I need internal accountability more than external.
Because external runs out when the relationship changes.
Internal is always there.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of I need someone to keep me on track, try I've been thinking about what kind of accountability actually works for me. External can help at the start, but I'm trying to build internal accountability that doesn't depend on anyone else being available.
That's the word tour. Discipline, habit, consistent, trigger, streak, accountability.
6 words for the conversation most people have with themselves every January and every Monday and every time they decide to start again.
Let's close. Motivation is real, but it's the wrong engine for habits.
The right engine is design, systems, triggers, making the habit easier than not doing it.
And starting small. The 2-minute version counts. Every vote for the identity you want counts.
Never miss twice. 1 skip day is an accident. 2 starts a new pattern.
Comment challenge. Tell us one habit you've started and stopped more than twice. 1 sentence in English in the comments.
If this helped your English today, subscribe, give it a like, share it with someone who's on day 1 again.
I'm Claire.
I'm Ethan. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is the system. Build the system.
Real English Lounge. See you next time.
Your English journey doesn't end here.
Keep listening, keep learning, and keep speaking.
Choose your next conversation.
We'll see you in the next episode of Real English Lounge.